A group of teenagers fueled by curiosity and influenced by the allure of the unknown, dive into a world they can hardly comprehend. Drawn by the allure of a hip-hop thug lifestyle and a yearning to escape the boundaries of their culturally homogenized existence, these teenagers embark on a daring escapade that takes them straight into the heart of East LA. As they step into a world vastly different from their own, they find themselves lured by the gangsta lifestyle they've idealized from a distance. However, not long after, the once rosy facade of adventure quickly fades as they grapple with the daunting realization that their innocent foray has plunged them deep into dangerous waters. In a parking lot, a teenage filmmaker, Eric, attempts to document the wannabe lifestyle led by Allison Lang and her boyfriend Toby's clique of affluent white teenagers living in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood. This group of teenagers talk and dress like gangsters, listen to rap music, and throw gang signs in photos, but they are surrounded by all the perks money could buy, from expensive cars to top-line drugs. None of which makes them happy, which is why they cruise around looking for trouble. A clash ensues between Toby's gang and a rival gang, which ends with both sides fleeing just before the police reach the scene. Later that night, Toby's gang converges at Eric's house for a party, and Allison's relationship with Toby and her other friends, Emily and Sam, is further revealed. At the end of the party, Allison gets intimate with her boyfriend. Allison spends the night at Emily's place, and the next day, Allison sees a note when she gets home informing her that her father seeks her presence at his office. Allison visits her father, Stuart, at work to discuss family challenges. The ensuing conversation, being uncomfortable, exposes the stark reality of the minimal bond Allison shares with her parents. Afterward, she and her friends drive downtown into East LA, feeling bored and intrigued by the idea of danger and excitement. On getting to the east side, they encounter a group of Latino drug dealers led by Hector. At first, they are scared, but Toby braces up and decides to buy marijuana. Toby and Hector make a deal, but Toby believes that Hector didn't sell enough for what he paid. Despite his friends calling him back, Toby confronts Hector directly. However, the situation takes a harrowing turn when Hector pulls a gun on him, making Toby urinate on himself and humiliate him in front of his friends by taunting him for only pretending to be tough. Allison persuades Hector to let Toby go, and he releases him with a warning not to come to their hood again. At school the next day, Allison asks Toby if he has recovered from the shock of the previous night's event. Toby assures her that it's nothing and vows to go back and attack Hector and his crew, but Allison persuades him not to go. Even though she is worried about her boyfriend, Allison can't help but be intrigued by the lifestyle of the Mexican gangsters. The next night, after seducing an older man into giving those drugs at a club, Allison and her 3 girlfriends inject the drug, and being high, she brings up the idea of returning to the location of the Mexican gangsters to have fun. Initially, the other 2 girls refuse, scared by the ruggedness of downtown, but Emily's acceptance makes them decide to try it. When they reach downtown, Allison and her friends meet again with Hector and his crew, who invite them to a party at his house. At the party, all the ladies team up with guys and spend the evening doing drugs, drinking, and dancing. When Allison notices that the guy Emily is with is trying to pick up a fight with her, she calls her up, and they decide to call it a day. Before their departure, Hector informs Allison of a motel where his crew regularly parties, giving her the address and inviting her to stop by if she wishes. While heading home, the girls are in awe of what they did, and they conclude that they had more fun than their time in their neighborhood gang. On the following day, Eric continues his film project at Allison's residence, with Allison turning his interview with her into a bizarre mind game. Later that evening, Allison bumps into Hector again at a store. As they walk through his neighborhood, Hector offers glimpses into his family and chosen way of life. Allison inquires why he didn't venture out to other places where business is booming than where he is currently. Hector tells her that downtown is his home and where he belongs. He didn't have an identity anywhere else. His guided tour ends abruptly when the police arrive in force, ostensibly for a drug-related operation. A search is conducted on them, and Allison is arrested along with some members when the police find out that she is underage and not from the hood. She tells the police she lost her way in the hood. However, she is released with the intervention of her parents and Toby. When her dad reprimands her for moving with a gang, Allison defends her action by letting him know she's bored with the life they want her to live. At school the next day, Toby confronts Allison for attempting to break up with their gang by moving with another gang, telling her she can't survive without them. Emily comes to her rescue by indicating that she doesn't need the Pacific Palisades gang again. Meanwhile, Allison's experience with the Mexican gang only intensifies her intrigue for the downtown lifestyle. The night after her release, Allison and Emily venture downtown to hang out with Hector's crew. While partying, the 2 meet up with Hector and his gang at the motel. Hector first accuses her of ditching them during the police raid, and she and Emily counter that she didn't spill anything about them. While there, They are having a good time playing cards and taking shots. Then, Emily wants Allison to ask the gang if they could be on their crew. Allison asks, and the gang laughs at them, realizing that these girls have no idea what a real gangster's lifestyle is. Hector and his homeboys then let them in their gang but tell them they must get in the way other girls have. They have to roll a dice, and whatever number they get is how many guys they have to have sex with. Allison gets 1 and chooses Hector, and Emily gets a 3. So entry into the gang begins, but Allison has second thoughts in the middle of it and says she can't do it, and she is forcibly ejected from the room by the gang when she tries to get Emily to leave with her. Things are going well initially for Emily, but when multiple guys are all over her, she gets scared and starts screaming. Allison storms into the room and screams at the men to stop. Startled, the men flee the room, leaving the 2 emotionally shaken women behind. Returning to their neighborhood, a cloud of sadness envelops Allison and Emily. Emily seems down from the previous day's event the next day at school. Allison tries to cheer her up, but it doesn't work. When Allison learns that Emily went home sick before school closes, she gives her a call when she gets home, but she doesn't pick it up. In the evening of the next day, Allison returns to the motel, her resolve firm, to confront Hector over the previous night's event. But he responds by saying he didn't do anything wrong and only did what she and Emily had asked him to do. At that moment, a woman appeared at the door, catching Allison off guard. Hector's amusement at her reactions makes him mock Allison's assumption that he has feelings for her. He dismisses her as a pretender, accusing her of playing games and not understanding the harsh realities of gang life. He tells her she is just trying to imitate the gangster lifestyle and that she doesn't fit in. Allison leaves the place, hurt by Hector's words. The same day, Emily takes a resolute step and heads to the police station, leveling serious accusations against Hector and his crew, alleging a gang rape incident. At school, Toby questions Allison about the situation with Emily and their movement with the new crew, but she refuses to answer. Allison is brought in for questioning by the police but claims nothing about a rape event. Her parents and lawyer also did well in covering their daughter's involvement in the event, telling the police that she wasn't aware of the situation. Hector is arrested, and his crew members vow to seek out and silence Emily and Allison to prevent them from testifying against him. At night, Allison visits Emily at home to decide on a way out, but Emily tells her the only way out is to tell the detectives her made-up version of the story. At Allison's home, her parents apologize for their negligence and tell her Emily's parents have told them what happened at the party. Allison heaves a sigh of relief, thinking Emily tells the truth. But when her parents continue with the part of the story they heard from Emily's parents, which was that the 2 girls were drunk and Emily got isolated in a separate room where she was attacked, preventing Allison from knowing what transpired, she becomes surprised. Her parents also tell her charges are going to be pressed against Hector. On hearing this, Allison bursts into tears while her parents, ignorant of what really transpired, console her. In another scene, Toby, Sam, and other members of their gang are preparing to go downtown to seek revenge on Hector's gang. Sam is furious about what happened to his girlfriend, Emily. All this while, Eric recorded them as they posed in front of the video camera, wielding guns. 2 of Hector's gang members venture out to Palisade to attack Emily and Allison, but they get lost in Bel Air. They are arrested by police and shown the way to East LA with a warning of not returning to that side of LA again. Allison visits Eric in his home, and he shows her the recording he made earlier about Toby going downtown to attack Hector. Allison calls Toby and tries to dissuade them from going, telling him Emily wasn't raped, and attempts to convince him that what he is doing is foolish, but Toby refuses to believe her and cuts the call. With the way the matter is going, Allison makes up her mind to tell the true story. She visits Emily and tells her about what Toby plans to do. Emily's parents are already planning for a vacation. She also reveals to Emily's parents the events at the motel. This Allison's behavior infuriates Emily, and she vows not to be her friend anymore. Upset by Allison's betrayal, Emily attempts to take her life, but eventually, the 2 friends reconcile. Meanwhile, Toby and his gang storm into Hector's motel with forceful intentions, but their intrusion only frightens a group of Latina women and a baby. All the men have disappeared. Toby tries to act bravely and shoot them but is consumed by their desperate pleas not to hurt the baby. He realizes he can't and storms out. During the drive back, the gang crossed paths with the SUV containing the members of Hector's crew that had been searching for Allison and Emily. A silent exchange of glances transpires, and the screen fades to black. In the ensuing seconds, the sounds of tires squealing, people shouting, and gunfire are heard. With Eric's film project complete, Allison concludes by stating that teens will be teens, naive and lack knowledge of several things. But if adults are willing to reach out to them, connect and give them even just a small amount of insight, it's like they now suddenly know everything. If you enjoyed the video, Make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.